Hello everybody and welcome back to Advanced Maths. Today we're going through the end of Year 8 practice exam answers. If you've not had to go at the Year 8 practice exam yet, I recommend you download it using the link below in the description. Of course, practicing it yourself before you see the answers is a really good idea. Today we're going to look through all the solutions in this video together, and I'll try my very best to explain how you would do this in yourself in the exam. So without much further ado, let's look at question 1. It says calculate, expressing your answer as a fraction in its simplest form. So I've got adding two fractions and dividing fractions on the screen. I'll start with the first one. We're going to add these two fractions. And the first step to do is to make them both into improper fractions. So, to do this, you multiply the 5 and the 3 and then add the 2, like this. You can see the calculation on the screen. I'm sure you know how to make them into improper fractions. And when we do that, we get 17 over 3 plus 24 over 7. We've converted them into improper fractions. Now, we need to make them into common denominators. So we'll times the first fraction by 7 and the second fraction by 3. That makes a common denominator of 21. When I do this, 17 times 7 is 119, 3 times 7 is 21, 24 times 3 is 72, and 7 times 3 is 21. I've got these two fractions, and they've got the same denominator, which means I can now start adding the numerators. 119 plus 72 is 191 over 21. And now finally, I need to make that into a mixed number. I can't simplify it. There's no thing I can divide both top and bottom by. So I'll make it into a mixed number. To do that, I need to know my 21 times table, which I've written on the screen. And how many 21s go into 191? Well, 9 get you to 189. So it's going to be 9 and a remainder of 2. Okay, so the answer is 9 and 2 21ths. Quite a tricky fractions question that, some quite big numbers, but just take your time and work through it step by step. Next, we've got 4 and 5 ninths divided by 2 and 1 sixth. And we'll start by making them into improper fractions. So I've made them into improper fractions here. And I'll keep, change, flip. So I'll keep the first fraction, change second, and flip the last one. So change the divide sign to times. Keep the first fraction the same, change the divide to times, and flip the fraction upside down. Let's see that again. Keep, change, flip, like this. I multiply the top and I multiply the bottom. 41 times 6 is 246, and 9 times 13 is 117. Now make it into improper fractions. How many 117s in 246? There are 2, and there's a remainder of 21 out of 117. 2 and 12 out of 117 is the final answer. And we've managed to divide this fraction. Again, quite tricky, but you can do it step by step using your written calculations. Let's look at question 2 now. So it says calculate the nth term and write the next two terms of each sequence. Okay, so here we've got 84, 87, 90, going up by 3 each time. So that means it's definitely going to look like 3n. 84, 97, 90, going up by 3 each time, we write 3n. And then we look at the previous term. What would go before 84 in this pattern? If we take away 3, we get to 81. And that's positive 81, so we put a plus 81 on the end. We do 3n plus 81. That's how we find the nth term. And we want to find the next two terms, so 90, 93, 96. We're going up by 3 each time. The next two terms will be 93, 96. Part B, here we're going down by 4 each time. We're subtracting 4 each time, so we write minus 4n. Then we go up by 4 to see what the previous term would be. If we go backwards, we'll add 4. 3 plus 4 is 7, so we put a positive 7 on the end, like that. Next two terms will be minus 1, minus 5, then it'll be minus 9, and then it'll be minus 13 on the end like that. Okay, that's question 2. We've got all the marks for question 2. Question 3, we have to expand and simplify the following expressions. And so we're going to multiply out the brackets. 4 times a will be 4a. 4 times minus 3b will be minus 12b. It is important it's minus there. 4 times minus 3b is minus 12b. Now we're doing minus 3 times 4b. And this is a negative times a positive, so it's minus 3 times 4b will be minus 12b. Minus 3 times minus a will be positive 3a. So that is a negative times a negative is a positive. Here we've got some common terms and we can simplify. 4a plus 3a is 7a. Minus 12b is minus 24b. 7a minus 24b is the final answer. Next we're going to simplify this term. Minus 3 times x is minus 3x. Minus 3 times 12 is minus 36. 3 times 4x is 12x squared. 3x times 5 is 15x. We combine like terms here, and we will get these two terms coming together. Minus 3x plus 15x is 12x. So you get 12x minus 36 plus 12x squared. That's the final answer. Perfect. We have completed question 3. Let's have a look at question 4 now. 3b. So here we got 2 times x plus 4 equals 3x. We'll start by expanding the bracket. We get 2x plus 8. And then we subtract 2x from both sides. That's to get rid of the positive 2x. And we get 8 equals x. And so x is 8 is the final answer. Now let's look at the next one. So we start by expanding that bracket. 3 times 4x is 12x. 3 times minus 4 is minus 12. Same on the other side, so we expand the brackets. Be careful with minus 4 times minus 5, that is positive 20. We'll start by adding 4x to both sides. That's to get rid of minus 4x. And we get 16x minus 12 equals 20. We've got rid of the minus 4x by adding it to the other side. Get rid of the minus 12 by adding 12 to both sides. We get 16x equals 32. And we divide by 16. X equals 2 is the final answer. And that is the final answer. We have now completed question 3. Question 4. It says, sketch a parallelogram showing all key properties. Okay, so here we have a parallelogram. These two pairs of parallel sides, each the same length. And here we're going to label that opposite sides are the same length, and we'll do that by drawing small dashes matching on each side. Notice at the top and bottom of 2 dashes, each side has 1 dash. Therefore, and then the reason for that is because we want opposite sides to be shown to be the same length. Now we'll show that opposite sides are parallel, and we'll draw matching arrows on the opposite sides. Double arrows on the sides, single arrows on top and bottom. Now we need to show matching angles, and opposite angles are equal, and opposite angles are equal. And again, the opposite angles need to match. That is a parallelogram. We've labelled all key properties. Perfect. Now let's look at 4b. It says fill in the blanks. It says shapes that have 4 sides are called quadrilaterals. A trapezium has 2 sides which are parallel to each other. A rhombus has 4 sides of equal length and 2 pairs of equal opposite angles. A parallelogram has 2 pairs of opposite equal angles. That's 4b. Easy enough. Let's look at question 5. Mohammed and Sam spend a total of $40 between them. Sam spent $15. Find the ratio of Mohammed spending to Sam spending in the form 1 to n, where n is a fraction in its simplest form. Okay, so we've got Mohammed to Sam. Mohammed spent some amount of money, but Sam has spent $15. And I think we can figure out that 40 minus 15 is 25, so Mohammed spent £25. We want to find the Mohammed spending to Sam spending in the form 1 to n. So we want it to be a fraction with a ratio with 1 on the left-hand side. So you want to divide by 25 to get 1 on one side. 25 divided by 25 is 1, and 15 divided by 25 is 15 25ths, which is a fraction which we'll simplify. We'll simplify that to be 3 fifths, and so the fraction is 1 to 3 fifths. That is the ratio. That's question 5a. And now we're going to do 5b. Molly, Isabella and Jane share candies between them in a ratio 7 to 5 to 3. Isabella and Jane got a total of 64 candies. Work out how many candies Molly got. Okay, so we've got Molly to Isabella to Jane in a ratio 7 to 5 to 3. It says Isabella and Jane, their shares were 64. And we know that they got 64 candies in total. And that's from 5 shares and 3 shares. So that's a total of 8 shares, 5 and 3. So 8 shares is 64 candies. So therefore 1 share is 8 candies. We just divided by 8 there, and we got 1 share was 8 candies. And therefore we can find out that 7 shares, Molly's share, was 7 times 8, 56. 56 candies is the correct answer. That's it. That's 5b, 56 candies. Question 6a, it says 5 numbers have a median of 6, a mean of 7, a mode of 11, and a range of 8. List the 5 numbers. So here I've got 5 numbers I need to find. And I'm just going to use step-by-step logic to try and figure out what these numbers are. And I can figure out straight away that the middle number must be 6 because it says the median is 6. So in the middle of all these numbers is 6. Now I can say the mode is 11. So 11 must happen more than once. It must happen at least 2 times. So put 11 and 11 on the end. That's after 6 because we know 11 is bigger than 6. We'll put it on the end. The range is 8. So to find the first number, we'll do 11 minus 8 to get 3. Because we know that 11 minus the first number must be 8, because that's the range. The biggest take away the smallest must be 8. So therefore it must be 3 at the start. Now the last number is the most complicated number, and what we'll do here is we'll add up all these numbers and divide by 5 to get the mean of 7. So we'll add up all 5 numbers, 3 plus our missing number plus 6 plus 11 plus 11. We'll divide that by 5 and we'll get 7. We know the mean is 7. And so we can simplify this by multiplying by 5. We get 7 times 5 is 35. The numbers we have, 3, 6, 11 and 11 add up to 31. So 31 plus the missing number is 4. And so the missing number is 4. Good. That is the 5 numbers we wanted in the question. That is the final answer. Okay, question 6b. So, here we have a frequency table and we're asked to find the mean from a frequency table. The first thing we're going to do is add a column for f of x, and this is just from multiplying the numbers together. 0 times 5 is 0, 1 times 9 is 9, 2 times 7 is 14. We multiply and we get this column here. Next, we add up all of this column, we get 40. And next we add up all of this column, we get 88. We've got the totals of those 2 columns, and to find the mean, we just do the second column divided by the first column. 88 divided by 40. We simplify that fraction, divide by 4, and we get 22 out of 10, which is 2.2. 22 divided by 10 is 2.2. That's it. That's question 6. Question 7. We're really close now. It says a circle with a diameter of 6 centimeters is placed inside a square with a side length of 6 centimeters, with the circle intersecting the square at 4 points. Calculate the shaded area to 1 decimal place. Okay, so we have to work out the area of a square and the area of a circle and subtract them. Let's look at that. So here we've got a square and a circle. If we subtract the area of the circle from the square, we get the shaded grey part. Okay, so that should be easy enough. We're going to work out the area of the square, which is 6 by 6. 6 times 6 is 36, so the area is 36 centimeters squared. For the circle now, the radius is 3, that's half of 6, so we have to half the diameter to find the radius. And we're going to use the equation area is pi times radius squared. Pi times 3 squared, like that. Which is pi times 9, which is 9 times 3.14. And when you do that, when you calculate that using column multiplication, you get 28.26 centimeters squared. That's the correct answer for the area of a circle. We now just subtract 36 minus 28.26 using column subtraction, and we get 7.74 centimeters squared. If you were using a calculator, you would get something different, but this is a non-calculator exam. It's 7.74 centimeters squared. Now, 7b says calculate the area and perimeter of the isosceles trapezium below. The word isosceles is important because it tells you this is a symmetrical trapezium and two sides are the same length. So it's symmetrical. To find the area, that's a little bit easier than the perimeter. We do the top plus the bottom, divide by 2 times the height. A plus B divided by 2 times the height. That's an equation you should have memorized. 7 plus 13 is divided by 2 times 4. 7 plus 13 divided by 2 times 4. We get 20 divided by 2 times 4. That is 10 times 4, which is 40. 40 centimeters squared. So we just use the equation for the area of trapezium to work that out. Now perimeter is more complicated because we need to find out all the lengths of the trapezium, and those diagonal lengths we don't know yet. But what we can do is we can use Pythagoras' theorem on these triangles here. So let's focus on that triangle. I'm going to try and find the bottom length of that triangle. We know that the middle length of the trapezium is 7. So therefore we've got 3, 7 and 7 to make 13. Remember this is symmetrical, so that 3 and 3 must be the same. We have now got a right angled triangle here that we can focus on. And we can do Pythagoras' theorem on that triangle. 4 squared plus 3 squared is equal to c squared. Therefore 16 plus 9 is 25. C squared is 25 and C is 5. We now know that these diagonal lengths are 5 centimeters and 5 centimeters. To find the perimeter, we're just going to add up all of the sides. So 5 plus 7 plus 5 plus 13, that gives you 30 centimeters. The perimeter is 30 centimeters. It was tricky to notice this needed Pythagoras' theorem, but when you start spotting right angle triangles, you start seeing when and where to use Pythagoras' theorem. Question number 8 says use a ruler and compass, construct the perpendicular bisector to the angle below. Okay, so let's get a ruler and compass. I'm going to start by drawing an arc from the angle. We draw an arc at an angle like that. Then we do the same again without changing the length of the protractor, the compass, without stretching the compass at all, keeping it exactly the same. Draw one arc and draw an exactly equal sized arc like this. We have now drawn the 3 arcs, and these 2 points show us the points to connect with our ruler. We take our ruler and we draw a line like this through both those points. That is a perpendicular bisector. We have split that angle into 2 perfect halves. Next, it says construct a triangle with side length 6 centimeters, 7 centimeters, and 9 centimeters. So we're going to start by drawing a 6 centimeter line like this. Then draw a 7 centimeter line like that. Now draw an 8 centimeter arc like this. 9 centimeter arc, sorry. 9 centimeters like this. And we get 3 lines to connect like this. Perfect. We have drawn a triangle with side length 6, 7, and 9. And that's how you construct a triangle like that. If you need to revise constructions, you can watch my videos on constructions. I will link them below. Question 9. We're going to simplify these expressions and leave an index form where necessary. That means it's a power. So 2 to the power 7 times 2 to the power 10 divided by 2 to the power 6. That's the same as 2 to the power 17. I've just added the powers on the top. 2 to the power 7 times 2 to the power 10 is 2 to the power 17. We then divide by 2 to the power 6, which means subtracting. 2 to the power 17 minus 2 to the power 6, we've got 2 to the power 11. That's the final answer. Now we're going to do part B, and we're going to do, start by simplifying the 3 and the 6. We'll divide by 3, divide by 3, and we get 3 divided by 3 is 1, 6 divided by 3 is 2. Next we're going to simplify the powers, the x powers, and we'll divide by x squared here on the top and bottom. X to the power 5 divided by x squared is x to the power 3. And on the bottom, x squared divided by x squared disappears, it just becomes 1. So we get 2 times 1, which is still 2. Next, we have y to the power 4 divided by y to the power 4, and y to the power 8 divided by y to the power 8. The y to the power 4 divided by y to the power 4 disappears, and y to the power 8 divided by y to the power 4 becomes y to the power 4. This is the final answer now. We have simplified this expression. We did that step by step, focusing on the numbers, then the powers of x, then the powers of y. Question 10 says construct a triangle with vertices at 1, 0, 2, 0, and 2, 2. And we'll start by drawing these coordinates here. Just draw small x's to this. We can then connect that with the lines of a triangle like this. The question asks us to label this triangle P, so we'll draw a P in the middle of it. Question 10b says enlarge triangle B by scale factor 2 around the origin, label it Q. Just remember the origin means 0, 0, so we draw a cross at 0, 0, and then we're going to draw lines going from the origin through all the corners, like this. We're drawing pencil lines going through all the corners like that, and we're going to move every corner 2 times further away along this line. It looks like this, move it twice as far away, like that, and then the final corner is 2 times further away like this, and we've moved all the corners twice as far away, and it gets you this triangle here, which we're going to call label triangle Q. We've enlarged it by scale factor 2 around the origin. Question C, we're going to reflect triangle P in the line y equals x, label it R. So triangle P looks like this, and will reflect like this, moving every corner across the reflected line to the other side. We get this triangle here, which is a perfect reflection. Finally, the very final question of the exam, we're so close to finishing. It says describe fully the transformation that maps triangle R onto a triangle S. This goes across 3 spaces and down 1. It is a translation. So it says translation by vector -3, -1. -3 across, -1 down. That's the final answer. Congratulations, we have finished the test. If you need more revision practice for year 8 in preparation for your final test, check out our year 8 revision guide on our website. Plenty of revision videos for all the topics covered in today's video. Lots of more practice for each of those topics, all for you to download and use online or printed if you prefer. thank you for watching this video from Advanced Maths. Remember to like and subscribe to support the channel. And also, please remember to recommend these videos to your friends as well in your class. New videos are coming soon, and we're covering everything from Year 7 right up to GCSE and IB Maths, including A-Level as well. Check out advancedmaths.com for more resources as well. Thank you for your time, and good luck in your exams.